Hello, welcome. My name is Void and I like to read you little stories that I have found off of Reddit and then tell you what I think about them. So today we are going to be taking a little dive into r/Best of Redditor updates. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to with me today, please do stick around and enjoy. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. So this first one was posted by Choice Evidence 1983 and the title is My Girlfriend 21F and My Brother 20M are soulmates. So Choice Evidence is not the original poster. The original poster is u/worried prize 5387 and it was originally posted to r/relationship advice. In July 7th, 2025, my girlfriend 21F and I 21M have been dating for about 7 months now. We both used to work at the same restaurant and I asked her out. I've always felt like we were very different people, but that's what I liked about our relationship. I feel like I'm always learning something by being around her and I try my best to indulge her interests. 3 months ago, I introduced her to my family, and they all seemed to like her, especially my brother, 20M. I didn't really think much of it and was happy to see them get along since I'm very close to my brother, but I've realised over time that they just fit way better with each other. They both have the same interests in movies, books, music, sports, foods, you name it. Although my girlfriend was hesitant at first about it, I encouraged her to go and do things alone with my brother if it wasn't something I was really into. And they both had a really great time. OP, I feel you're setting yourself up for a downfall here. You're pushing your girlfriend away because insecurity, I can only assume from how this reads straight away. Like, encourage them to go do things together on their own is really obscure, but okay. Anyway, and I know just having the same hobbies sounds trivial, but it's also their personalities. They're both very free-spirited and adventurous, and I can't help but notice that they look so much happier with each other than with me. Sometimes I feel really out of place around them, as if I'm not supposed to be there. But I swear this is not out of jealousy. I just genuinely think that they're better for each other. I love them both, and if this is what makes them happy, then I'd rather they date each other and let me move out of their way. I'm not exactly sure how to execute this or talk about this with either of them though. How do I go about setting them up? This is really odd, and this feels very much like insecurity is slightly taking over at the moment, and OP's gone into a little bit of a woe is me mindset. I don't know. But yeah, very, very odd, just because they like similar things for the OP to decide that. I wonder if maybe the OP is very used to their brother being the sort of guy that gets all the attention off of girls and, you know, it seems to get everything in life, and they've just kind of resigned themselves to that's how it will always be, I suppose. Very odd. So top comments. Commenter 1, your brother shaped you as well. You apparently connect well with people like him and like your girlfriend, so it's no wonder she's very much into you and possibly would be less into your brother than you think. Yeah, like, I don't want to date someone who's a carbon copy of myself. Like, I want to date someone who brings new things into my life if I was to ever actually date, you know? Commenter 2, you gotta work on your self-esteem. What you'll learn eventually is that someone being attracted to you is not up to you, and no one who is attracted to you is going to want to hear you try to explain why they're wrong. Yeah, and imagine being OP's girlfriend and like him sitting her down and being like, hey, I want to rehome you to my brother. Like, what? That conversation's not gonna go down well at all. If you trust a partner, part of that involves trusting their judgment about being with you. Oh, and stop sending them on dates. That's weird. Yeah, very odd. Commenter 3, this post is equal parts selfless and heartbreaking. I really respect your maturity and self-awareness, but I think you're being too quick to write yourself out of your own relationship. Yeah, I think the OP has some real bad self-esteem issues and insecurity issues that they really need to work on. You say they're soulmates, but your girlfriend chose you, not him. That matters. Shared interests aren't everything. Chemistry, emotional connection, and commitment also play huge roles. You're viewing their bond through a lens of comparison, rather than focusing on what you two have built. Instead of trying to set them up, maybe have a vulnerable, honest conversation with your girlfriend. Tell her how you've been feeling and ask how she feels about your relationship. You might be surprised. She might be with you because you bring something her bond with your brother does not. And please stop facilitating their time together like that. It's blurring boundaries and making things messier than they need to be. If things are meant to shift, they will, without you sacrificing yourself for it. Ultimately, don't martyr yourself. Love should be mutual. Don't give yours away without making sure it's still being returned. Commenter 4. Whoa, slow down. Your girlfriend probably has zero interest in your brother. People don't necessarily like being with someone like them. My husband is my polar opposite, thank God, and I would be absolutely miserable dating someone like me. I'm too annoying. Honestly, respect the honesty, seriously, because yeah, I know if I dated someone who was exactly like myself, they'd piss me off. So, update December 29th, 2025, 5.5 months later. Update, my girlfriend 21F and brother 21M are soulmates. First of all, thank you to everyone who wrote nice, encouraging things and advice in my last post. I really appreciate it. I kind of got rid of this account after the post got too many views, but then randomly opened it yesterday to several messages about it being covered by Smosh. I'm a huge fan of them, by the way, so this was very surprising. Anyway, I'll cut to the chase. After writing that post, I did a lot of introspection and self-reflection. I think a lot of people caught this, but I do indeed suffer from low self-esteem and struggle with low confidence. I didn't want to acknowledge it, but it did get in the way of my relationships, often. I'm a brutally honest man, and that is exactly what I did. I was very honest about all of this to my girlfriend. I didn't tell her that I thought my brother and her were soulmates, but I told her that sometimes I feel like I can't directly connect with her because we're so different. And what she said really changed my perspective on our relationship. She said that she loves that I'm different and compliment her in a way that completes her. She also expressed that she would want to get more involved in my hobbies, so the past few months we spent time doing random things together that we individually enjoy, and it's turned out great for us. She makes me really happy, and I try my best to make her life better too. I've also met her family now, and they're all lovely people as well. See? Told you, OP! Told you! We still do things together with my brother, and it's also a good time. I think at the end of the day, the root of all this was indeed my insecurity. It really wasn't about my brother, because I think I would have been insecure if it was a friend or really anyone else. Besides, it is true that I enjoy my brother's company because of the kind of person that he is, so it has made sense for me to be with someone who is similar. It attributes more to the fact that she fits really well in my life. I've also come to realise that I was looking at this from a very trivial perspective. My girlfriend is so much more than the hobbies and interests, and there's so many other things about her that actually set her apart from other people in my life. Thanks again everyone for your advice. Apparently I need to end this post with a question. Oh, is that because it was a relationship advice, so it has to end with a question not to get deleted, I assume? Anyway, down in the comments of the Best of Redditor Updates post, Minstraw Red says, one of the few times I've heard someone call themselves brutally honest in a Reddit story and approved of them being that way. Yeah, seriously. Normally when people are like, I'm just brutally honest, it means they're a dick. And then Sugar Pink says, seriously, it was actually warranted this time and not just an excuse to be rude. And then Dream of White Horses says, there's a quote, people who are brutally honest get more satisfaction out of the brutality than out of the honesty. In this case, it felt like the guy was in it for the honesty. Yeah, honestly, I'm so glad that they did sit their girlfriend down separately and say, this is how I've been feeling, rather than sitting down the girlfriend and the brother and being like, hey, you two, I think you two should hook up, because that would have gone down like a lead balloon now, wouldn't it? Next post is posted by Lucy Aria Rose, and the title is New Old Update. That doesn't quite make sense. My 27F boyfriend, 29M, of 7 years, cheated on me. I'm going to disappear from his life. Is there anything I'm missing? So, Lucy Aria Rose was not the original poster. The original poster is Unlucky Amoeba 2473, originally posted in r/relationship advice. When was it posted? October 19th, 2025. So we have some trigger warnings for infidelity, racism, mood spoiler, baffling in the overall audacity, but OOP will be okay. So we have an editor's note. OOP posted an Am I the Butthole and update 4 years ago about her and her now ex-boyfriend. These posts didn't really have anything to do with these ones in this post, but I thought they were still interesting, so I'm including them here and here. She also posted about her parents before that, meaning this is an established account. Okay, so this story will be linked, so you can go to that and then read those two if you want to, but because they're not relevant to this, I'm not going to go diving into them now. We will be here forever. I, 27F, just found out my boyfriend, 29M, of 7 years, cheated on me. My boyfriend went to our home state to see his family for the weekend. He's been going quite often this year, about once a month, saying it's because his grandparents are old and miss him. I thought nothing of it until this morning. I got a screenshot from a mutual friend of ours of my boyfriend's location on Snapchat. He was at his parents' house, but a girl's Bitmoji was there as well. It wasn't his sister or mum, and his parents, who weirdly also have Snapchat, weren't home either. He didn't tell me he was going to be with anyone else today. I tried to call him, but he did not pick up. I looked on Snapchat and his location was turned off. The mutual friend says my boyfriend had told everyone at home that we had broken up 4 months ago. He said my boyfriend was making him stay quiet about it because he was trying to find the right time to tell me. As far as his parents know, he's moving home once our lease is up. The reason our mutual friend told me was because he walked in on my boyfriend and the girl hooking up with each other this morning. Oh, what a dirty little shite. I texted an old friend who lives in my hometown and she immediately asked me why my boyfriend was on Tinder. We caught up and she sent me proof of his photos on Tinder and his bio. It hurt to see that photos I took of him were used. He had even covered my face in a photo we took together and said, "This could be you." What? Oh no, that is such a violation. Oh, that is disgusting. What a horrible cretin. I had no idea his family thought we were broken up and that he was looking for other people to date. We even went to Italy a month ago celebrating our 7-year anniversary. I'm so confused and I don't know what to do. I look around and everything in our apartment seems like a lie. The soon-to-be ex texted me just now and he is on his flight back. He'll be back in about 5 hours. Obviously, he can find his own way to the apartment from the airport. I'm shocked and numb, but my best friend is with me helping me pack up all my clothes. I'm leaving and I'm not leaving a trace of myself behind. Our dog is coming with me and I'll be staying at my best friend's place for now. My soon-to-be ex and I already have separate bank accounts, and our joint bank account does not have much in it right now. I make more than he does, so he can keep it. I can't go to the leasing office because it's closed on Sundays, but I sent an email asking for early termination of the lease. We're registered as domestic partners, so I've completed the termination form and will drive up to the LA County office tomorrow. He is on my health insurance, and I've sent him the email to HR to kick him off ASAP. We have several large photo albums together, and I'm not sure what to do with those. Keeping them would be too difficult, but I don't want him to have the satisfaction of having our photos. It's clear he uses our memories in a horrible way. Do you fancy a bonfire, OP? Because I think that would be the perfect way to rid yourself of those tainted memories. Personally, is there anything I'm missing? I can't seem to think of anything, and all my thoughts seem so jumbled. Nothing makes sense, but I know I can't stay. Any help to ghost a person this close to my heart would be appreciated. I'm just so glad that the OP is actually just taking action and leaving them now. Because quite often in these sorts of stories, the people stay and let themselves be walked all over. And I hate to see that because it's just not right, is it? Let's be honest. Top comment, StinkEye63 says, take pictures or videos of the apartment before you leave so we can't damage it and claim that you did it. Yes, very much that. Yes, yes, yes. Update post October 20th, 2025, the next day. Thank you everyone for all the solid advice. I'm compiling everything I did in this first section, so if others need a way to cut contact with a person, they can reference this. As mentioned in the comments, I logged myself out of our Apple TV and Xbox. I cancelled the Wi-Fi that I paid for and returned the modem to the carrier. I took my payment information for utilities off our account. I packed up all of my sauces, spices and cooking oils and took note to only leave dried rosemary behind. He hates that shit. Love it. I printed out and framed the screenshot of his Tinder profile and left it on the kitchen table. I closed a piece of dog poop into the frame as well. I'll keep the photo albums. He can have this. I took a video of the entire apartment after packing up all my things. I left my keys in the mailbox to the leasing office and emailed the leasing office of my departure with the videos of what the apartment looked like prior to locking up. I updated my address for the USPS, vet, hospital, school, work, and my dog's chip. I talked to HR and am in the process of getting him off of my health insurance, changing the benefactor of my life insurance to my parents, if only I could name my dog, and emergency contact. I'm going to the bank to take myself off the joint bank account. Fortunately, I'm not worried about my credit as all of our finances have stayed separate, but I'm grateful for those who told me to freeze my credit. I logged out of all devices for all streaming services, social media, and my work, personal, and school email. Change the passwords, for goodness sake. I blocked him on all social media, chat rooms, and his phone number. I made a doctor's appointment to get STD tested. I'm on my way to an appointment with the county office to terminate our domestic partnership. It's been an incredibly busy 18 hours, but I've had a lot of help from my friends and I haven't been able to sleep either. As far as what happened since he arrived, here's what's up. I already blocked him before he landed. I received many texts and calls from his parents and sister that I did not see. Then when I noticed his sister calling, I picked up. At first, the call was hostile. She accused me of being some crazy ex-girlfriend that couldn't let her brother go. Funny, since I just packed up and left. She brought up that it had been 4 months and that I needed to move on. I told her that the ex never approached me about breaking up and that 1 month ago we celebrated our 7th anniversary and started to plan our wedding. I had no indication he even wanted to break up. We reset a bit and she allowed me to tell my side of the story. I told her he was somewhat distant this year, but he had blamed it on the grandparents being old and wanting to spend more time with them before they die. Turns out their grandparents have been dead for 2 years. What? Oh my goodness. I never met them because my ex claimed they were super racist since the grandpa was a Vietnam War vet. I'm Southeast Asian. Turns out you can't be racist when you're dead. We ended the call on a positive note, with his sister saying that it was a lot to take in. She said she felt bad as the girl he was cheating with me on was one of her friends. She had introduced them to each other sometime last year when my ex was apparently unhappy with our relationship. They hit it off and he was supposed to break it off with me. I guess he never had the balls to do so. She was also confused as to why he was on Tinder as he was in a relationship with her friend, because he's a massive cheating waste of space, mate. It's as simple as that. I sent her all the Tinder receipts after hanging up. Later in the night, I received an email from the ex. To sum it up, yes, he asked me to come to the apartment to talk it out. No, he did not apologise for everything. He ended the email with, "I love you." As far as I know, he doesn't know where I am. I also don't believe he knows where my friend lives, as she just moved and he hasn't been here yet. He also doesn't seem like the type of person, but I guess I don't really know him after all. We'll keep locks ready and bats near the door. It's been so helpful just writing everything out that's happened so far, but all of your advice, support and guidance in this situation has made me feel empowered to leave. At times, I just wanted to stop packing and hope that when he came home, everything would go back to normal, and the texts would just be a distant memory. The words of encouragement have really helped me follow through and leave. Nothing good would have come from staying. Thank you all again. Yeah, definitely. If the OP would have left, they would have been cheating on him left, right, and centre, and then eventually OP would have ended up with an STI. Or worse. Edit, just adding in the link beginning to the original post. We've already read that, we don't need that. Edit 2, sorry I was unclear about the timeline. The parents and sister called me about 2 hours after he landed. I assume it was because he got home and realised that the person paying half the rent will no longer be doing so, and reached out to his family. The dog poop may have contributed to the heightened emotions. Some of OOP's comments. Anon Girl 314159 says, I took all the spices when I left, not because I could readily use them, but because fuck that guy. Didn't even leave salt and pepper. Editor's note, this and the following comment were left on the original post, but OOP replied after her update. OOP then says, I think I took like $300 of spices, oils, sauces, and just everyday cooking stuff. Thank you for this. And then Maleficent Leak 2943 says, but whatever he really hates, leave that behind. If he's ever expressed a dislike of celery salt or Worcester sauce, that needs to be the only thing left in the cupboard, because that guy. And then obviously we know what happens. OOP says the dried rosemary was left behind. It's his least favourite flavour. Subtle and incredible. Thank you. Haha. And then Obvious Fox 1886 says logging out doesn't change your passwords. If he happens to know them, he can just log back in or go change them himself. OOP says good point, the passwords will be changed ASAP. Good. And then Rose Hill Root says, I bow to the queen of handling shit. Yeah, the OP did not rest at all. They did not even take a breather. They were like, we're taking action and we're taking it now, which I love to see, honestly. OOP says, honestly, shout out to my dog at the perfect time to press it into the picture frame. He really was there when I needed him the most. And then to a comment calling everything fake, saying it happened too quickly. If you don't believe that I did what I said I did, that's on you. A lot of it was sending emails and doing stuff online, besides physically moving everything, which I did with the help of 3 friends and putting poop in a picture frame. As for not knowing his grandparents, it's not super relevant to the post. We were not close, but it was because the first 5 years of our relationship, they were no contact. The last 2 years is when they've reconciled, probably when his grandparents actually died. Why haven't I got to know them better since then? 2 reasons: distance and racism. 1, though they were both from the same Midwest town, his family still lives there. Mine moved away to SoCal where we live now. To get there, it's 7 hours at the airport with the layover plus 2-hour drive to get to their house. 2, if I liked them, the travel time wouldn't be the problem, but his family is racist. I'm Southeast Asian and they're old white folks. Since I've met them, they've repeatedly mispronounced my name, called me slurs as a joke, and sometimes pretend I don't speak English. The last time we had dinner was over a year ago, and the main joke of the night was how I was a CCP agent honeypotting their son. I'm not sure what a CCP agent is. I wasn't laughing. Is that like a spy or something? I don't know. We have each other's phone numbers for emergencies, but I'm not chomping at the bit to be reaching out to just chat because I wasn't going to mend any bridges or whatever, because I'm not going to change how I look or where my parents are from anytime soon. Yeah, I wouldn't want to spend a single second with those racist assholes either. Absolutely not. As for why the sister called, Mr. Cheater Pants was mad the woman he cheated on would no longer be paying half of the rent, and I guess his sister took it personally. I don't really care. And then the OOP clarifies the timeline again. We were dating for 7 years. The first year and a half, we were good friends that liked each other but didn't act on it. We were bad at communicating feelings. As far as I know, we weren't seeing other people either, but who knows? We began to include it in our overall time together because it seemed right at the time. It's stupid to think of now. Sorry it made you doubt whether this was real, and I already addressed your comment about the grandparents here. So I'm guessing people had gone back to some posts before any of this had happened and seen the OP saying things that perhaps maybe contradicted slightly the timeline that had been given here and were questioning on it for that reason. And yeah, I was able to do it all in less than a day. I got 3 of my friends to move stuff out of a 500 square foot apartment, so it's not like I had much to move. And not that I have everything completely finished. I'm still waiting to hear back on HR stuff and bank stuff. But do you guys really think sending out emails and changing passwords and making appointments is that hard? Because that's like 8 of the 13 things that were done online in the middle of the night. And the poop prank took maybe 10 minutes. And I slept maybe an hour on the drive home from the county office. So yeah, I had a lot of time. I don't know. And if you think it's still fake because I keep replying to people, I'm just answering these questions because I'm trying to distract myself from falling into an emotional pit of despair. Understandable. And then to a longer comment. Thanks for saying this. Now that things are starting to settle down, I can feel a lot of sadness start to creep in. Maybe it's for him, but I know that it's partially for the future that I had seen for myself for so long. Now I feel like I don't know what direction forward is, and I feel a bit lost. Someone had suggested counselling and therapy, and before this adrenaline fully leaves, I'll try to schedule that because I'm sure it'll help. I suppose the good thing about not having to plan a wedding anymore is that I have more money for Lady Gaga tickets. Haha. Fair. Go and do something you enjoy. Like, you deserve it. Thank you so much for the kind words and warnings of what's to come. I appreciate it. Update post 2, November 3rd, 2025, 2 weeks later. Here's the second update for you guys. I tried to make it into another post, but you're only allowed to post twice in a month on relationship advice. I had no idea. Hi everyone, the last couple of weeks have been very difficult after the dust settled. I lost my steam and was inconsolable for a while. I'm fine, but emotionally this breakup has been very difficult. An update on some of the logistics that I listed in the last update. The lease will be terminated in 15 days. The initial email I sent out was my 30-day notice. I paid a lump sum of 2 months' rent plus prorated the rent for 2 weeks. I don't know how, but I didn't need my ex's signature or anything to accomplish this, which I thought was weird but did not question. I emailed the termination lease to my ex. My payment information is no longer on utilities, but his is. He will be paying for the utilities if he's still there. I was able to get my ex off of my health insurance as US health insurance is currently in the open enrollment period. However, if the timing was worse, like if this had happened several months ago, I would have had to wait until open enrollment. I guess I got lucky. This information was emailed to the ex as well. Though the form for the termination of domestic partnership has been submitted, it will likely take 5 to 6 months. Flippin' heck! For it to be processed and officially terminated since I didn't have him with me to sign it. That's fine by me. As of now, I am not positive for any STDs, but I will check again in several weeks as advised by my doctor. The joint account was closed. I was not able to take myself off without X being present, but I was able to close it by myself. I mailed his parents' house the check of everything in there. It was less than $10. After emailing my ex the termination of lease and that he is no longer on a dependent on my health insurance, I got a reply from him saying I ruined his life. No apology. Not that it would have changed anything. I love it when they go, "You've ruined my life. Why are you doing this to me?" Oh, probably because you stuck your sausage in all in sundry. Sorry. This is the consequences of your action, mate. I know a lot of people wanted more information about his family and him, but I haven't reached out to them or answered when they've reached out to me. I don't have the heart for it, but my parents did. My dad did get a call from the ex. The ex told them that I kicked him out of the apartment, untrue as he still has his keys, and that he won't have access to his meds anymore due to not being on my insurance. True? Well, get your own insurance then. He created a sob story about his grandparents' death being hard on him and that I wasn't there to support him in that time. Somehow this was an excuse to being unfaithful, but he wanted to work it out with me. Both my parents speak English just fine, but says, "Sorry, we no speak English." That's amazing. And hung up. Kudos to his racist parents for inspiring my dad. None of us have heard from him since. That's so funny. Oh, I love your dad. That's great. I will say I am extremely lucky. I have a job and I am financially stable. Though paying the termination fees and whatnot was difficult, I know I will be okay in the long run. I'm also very lucky my non-romantic relationships have kept me afloat, though the last couple of weeks have been some of the hardest in my life. My best friends, family, and even co-workers have been there to support me. I've also started therapy, which I'm also lucky to have access to. I'm so glad the OP has all the support, and it says a lot, doesn't it, about the type of person that they are? Because to have that many people that are willing to rally around you at a moment's notice shows that the OP must be a genuinely good person. I'm so thankful to all of you who shared your advice in the comments and who have reached out to me to make sure I'm doing well. The support I've gained from this community and my own community shows me that I didn't really lose that much in this breakup. Honestly, no, you did not at all. I've gained so much. It's been difficult to mourn the future that I thought I would have, but as time has passed, I realised that future wasn't that great in the first place. I likely won't post again for a while, partially because of the 2-post limit, but also because even in 2 weeks, nothing much has happened, and I want to focus more on moving on. I hope if you're in a similar situation, you also have the strength to leave. Love it! I am absolutely ecstatic that this OP found out and immediately took action. That is what I want to see more of. If someone is openly disrespecting you like that and you have very good evidence of it, there was no way this was a he said, she said situation. There was two people confirming that OP's fella had been up to no good. Take action. Don't let these idiots mug you off, honestly. Down in the comments, Vanessa Alexis says, people like her ex are a hoot, and not in the good way. He lies about his dead grandparents, cheats for months, cheats on both women, uses his friends to lie, is totally mooching off of the OOP. Your Honour, it was OOP who ruined my life. Honestly, like zero accountability. It's insane. And then another one bites the crust, says that and him telling her dad that she wasn't there for him when his grandparents died. Sir, you mean the ones you told her were still alive? Literally. Crazy work, honestly. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Don't forget to leave a comment for pleasing the algorithms, because apparently that's a thing we need to do. Tell me what you're going to have for dinner today, or if you've had dinner already, tell me what you had. Give me some inspo for my meals. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye!